Hi, this is Annie with Whole Sky Yoga. I'm here in my studio in Stone Ridge, New York. Today I'm offering a foundational flow, a very slow foundational flow. It's about 20-25 minutes and it's really good for beginners, or if you just really want to take it slow and kind of come back to basics in your practice. Really nice for first thing in the morning, just to get the body invigorated and moving. So I hope you enjoy, and thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so we're starting standing at the top of the mat, feet about hip distant, and just kind of play with your feet when you get to the top of the mat. Maybe bringing the weight into the toes, maybe lifting off of the heels, and then bringing the weight into the heels, maybe lifting the toes off the mat, and just kind of shimmying the feet a little bit, moving side to side, just noticing where your feet grip as you come to this sturdy stance at the top of the mat. So it just takes a couple of moments, and the eyes might want to close as you move from foot to foot, really just feeling into the earth and feeling into how your feet start to adapt to the different pressures that you're putting into the foot. And then see if you can start to really ground through all of the corners of the foot. So the big toe mound presses into the earth, weight comes across the front of the foot into the pinky, feel the weight come into the heel. And then notice this sensation of the shins rotating inwardly and forward. See if you can find a lift from your belly. So the front of those hip points come up towards the chest. So this creates a little bit of a lift in your chest. Imagine your shoulder blades can kind of drop into your back pockets, and your tailbone can just be neutral and maybe lengthen towards the earth a little bit. Chin is neutral with the earth. And then we come into just a couple of breaths in our Tadasana stance, our mountain pose at the top of the mat. Hands can face towards your legs. They can be turned out, or palms can come together at heart center, wherever you're feeling today. And just breathing, take a nice big inhale and exhale. Another breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Seeing if you can create equalness between the inhale and the exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Gently blinking the eyes open if they're closed. Take the hands tenderly by your sides, opening up through the chest. Excuse me. And then inhale, reach the arms out and up overhead. Look up towards the hands. It's okay if that head goes back a little bit and maybe the belly goes forward. And then exhale, you're going to swan dive down towards the earth. Bend the knees nice and soft. Cross the arms in front of one another. Drop the head. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Keep those knees a little soft, a little bent. Look up. Again, maybe that belly goes forward, arcing through the spine. And then exhale, swan dive. Bend the knees a little bit. Come all the way down. Arms crossed in front of one another. One more time, inhale, lifting all the way back up. And then exhale, fold all the way down. Come down to the earth. Hands can come onto the mat or possibly onto blocks. Knees should have a nice, soft, generous bend here. We don't want to, especially we're doing this early in the morning, or it's the first movement you're getting in the morning, that straight leg is going to really stress out the back of the leg. So a nice bend in the knees, maybe just rocking side to side, feeling into the back of the legs, the back of your spine as it rounds, crown going towards the earth. And then really give that nice generous bend so you have some stableness with the legs. Interlace your fingers, bring the hands to the back of the head, and allow the elbows to just drop down. And you feel that ridge at the back of your head. Press that into the hands as the elbows drop down, and then tuck the chin slightly into the chest, elongating the back of the neck. Good. Inhale. And exhale, release the hands to the earth. You can take those blocks underneath your hands if you'd like, lengthening the spine forward. The legs can start to lengthen, and then step the right foot back towards the back of the mat, coming into a lunge. We're going to keep the knee lifted. Feel that right heel reach towards the back of the room, and feel that left knee reach forward. opening up through the chest. So we're reaching the chest forward and we're feeling our collarbones opening, shoulder blades going down the back body, almost like there's a little bit of an arc in the spine. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, remove the blocks off to the sides, hands plant, step back to a plank position. Inhaling in your plank, hold here. You can always drop your knees onto the earth for a little bit of support in your plank position. One more breath in plank. Inhale, and then exhale, lower your knees, and your chest and chin are going to come to the earth, bending elbows by the sides. As you inhale, press the top of the feet into the earth, the elbows go back, shoulder blades go into back pockets, collarbone opens, cobra. Exhale, forehead to the earth. Come up into a tabletop position, pressing up and back into a child's pose. The hips go towards the heels. Lengthen the sides of the body. Find a nice big extension here. And then inhale, come back up into that tabletop position. We're going to move the hands back a little bit so that the shoulders are right over the wrists and the hips are right over the knees. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, coming into a cow position. And then exhale, press into palms, round through the spine, gaze at the navel. Inhale, cow, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. And then exhale, cat. One more round here. Inhale, dropping the belly. Good, feeling into the spine. And then exhale, pressing into palms, rounding through the spine. Coming back to neutral, walk the hands, one handprint in front of you. Good, and then tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Find that nice big extension in the sides of the body. It's our first downward dog of this practice, so maybe bending one knee and the other, just to start to open the back of the body. Good. And then finding some stillness in your downward facing dog, pressing the palms, look at the hands, and just notice if the fingers are spread. So spread those fingers nice and wide, the palms are nice and flat. We have a tendency sometimes to lift up from that mound between the thumb and the index finger, so see if you can press flat there. And then rotate the arms, so you're feeling the armpits rotate towards the earth as the head drops, looking towards the feet. Tailbone lifts. One more breath here. On your next inhale, lift the right leg, any amount. It can lift low, it can lift really high. And as you exhale, bring your knee towards your nose, rounding through the spine, holding here. And then we're going to place the foot right next to that right hand. And my foot doesn't go all the way up. So if you need a little assistance, use your hand, kind of pull it up a little bit closer. Blocks, once again, can come underneath the hands. Looking forward, heart is looking forward. Left heel reaches back as right knee reaches forward, opening up through the chest. Inhale. Good, and then on your exhale, step to the front of the mat with that left foot. Fold here. Hands can be on blocks or on the earth. Crown comes towards the earth. Uttanasana. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Arms lift up overhead. Look up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, Tadasana. Mountain pose, standing at the front of the mat. Again, palms can be together at heart center, or hands can come by your sides. We're going to do that same sequence again, moving a little bit quicker and changing sides. Inhale, arms lift up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Good. This time we're going to extend our spine forward, look forward. Ardha Uttanasana, our half lift. Hands coming onto the earth or blocks, left foot steps back this time. Good, bending into that front knee, knee goes forward, heel goes back, lengthen through the back leg. Inhale. As you exhale, remove the blocks to the sides, plant your palms on the earth, step back to a plank position. Again, knees can be on the earth, inhale in your plank. And as you exhale, either knees, chest, chin, or the elbows bend by the sides, you lower stiff as a board. Press the top of the feet into the earth, cobra or baby cobra, maybe lifting a little bit higher for that higher cobra pose. Good, and then exhale, forehead to the earth. Lift up and back into a child's pose, so hips go back towards the heels. Extend through the spine. Inhale, come back into your tabletop position. Drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round through the spine, gaze at the navel. Come back into a neutral spine, walk the hands forward, one palm print. Tuck your toes, lift up and back, downward facing dog. Big extension on the body. Next inhale, left leg lifts up towards the sky again. Any amount it lifts off the earth. As you exhale, bring your knee towards your nose, really rounding through the spine. And use your left hand if you need to walk that left foot forward. Hands can come on blocks or onto the earth. As the chest reaches forward, right heel reaches back, left knee reaches forward, like your legs want to go in opposite directions. Inhale, open up through the chest. Exhale, step to the front of the mat, fold. Good. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, arms lift up and overhead. Press your palms, and exhale, come into Tadasana. Hands can come together at heart center, or they can come by your sides. Good. Hold here just for a moment with the hands by the sides or palms together at heart center. Just coming into breath. Maybe the eyes close. Feeling into the stability of the feet in the earth. So noticing again where your feet catch as you hold steady. Good, one more breath here. Inhale, open the eyes, lift the arms, look up. Exhale, forward fold, come all the way down. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, we're going to plant the hands and step back to a plank position. Inhale in your plank and exhale, lowering either knees, chest and chin, or stiff as a board. Belly comes all the way to the earth. Inhaling, coming into a cobra, lifting up, or baby cobra, staying low to the earth. Exhale, forehead to the mat. This time, tuck your toes under, come into a downward facing dog, lifting all the way up and back. Good. From our downward facing dog, we're just going to roll forward slightly, so we're not coming into a full plank. And I want you to, feel the outsides of the arms rotate towards the earth, so you find that rotation in the arms. So as if you want the armpits to kind of melt down towards the mat. It sounds weird, I know, but just do it. And then keeping this position, lift the hips and lengthen through the body. So you get this nice stability through the shoulders as you come into your downward facing dog. And you can do this at any point during practice. If you feel like you've lost that engagement in the shoulders, you can just roll forward, roll the armpits towards the earth, and then lengthen the body back up. Good. Inhale, right leg lifts up towards the sky. As you exhale, plant the foot next to that right thumb. Good. Back heel is going to ground down, and we're going to come up into a warrior two. So legs nice and wide, arms go wide, gaze comes over that front middle finger. Good, and just take a note of where your legs are. Maybe you want to walk that front foot forward a tiny little bit more. Maybe you want to bend a little bit deeper into that front knee. And really press through that back leg. So notice if there's engagement in that back foot, and see if you can extend through that left leg. And then feel a lift on the sides of the body. So see if you can extend the sides of the body and feel the crown of the head lift nice and tall. And maybe that lifted you out of the lunge a little bit, and seeing if you can bend a little bit deeper into your warrior. Shoulders drop down into back pockets. Hold for one more breath. Flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Lift up and back. Gaze towards that right bicep. Extend that right armpit. As you exhale, bring your hands to the earth. Step back to a plank position. Option here to just come to that downward facing dog. Or you can come through a vinyasa sequence, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana, bending elbows by the sides. Hover the body, come over the toes. Inhale, coming into upward facing dog. Shoulder blades go down and back, thighs are lifted. Exhale, downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. And breathing here. Inhale, left leg lifts up towards the sky. As you exhale, bringing knee to nose, plant the foot next to that left thumb. Again, you can use your hands to bring that leg forward. Warrior two, as you rise up, that back heel grounds down. It comes to about a 45-degree angle, maybe a little bit less, kind of depending on the rotation of your hip and the flexibility and mobility of your right ankle. My right ankle is sometimes very angry because I've sprained it many times, so I have a tendency to do something a little bit different with that back foot. Good, and then noticing your foot position. Can you walk the foot forward a little bit more, or do you need to release a little bit and come out of that warrior two? Do you need to give yourself a break? You decide, it's your practice. And then pressing into that back foot nice and deeply, lifting from the sides of the body, so crown lifts, lifting up to the sky here. Good, sink maybe a little bit deeper into that front knee. Flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, lifting up and back, gazing in towards that left bicep, stretching on the side of the body. Inhale, and then exhale, hands come to the earth, pivot onto right toes, and then step back to your plank position. Inhale in plank. And exhale, either knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana, hovering body. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Good, and just taking a couple of breaths here to notice how the body feels in this position. We've done this position a couple times in this practice, so notice if there's any difference. Do the heels get a little bit closer towards the earth? Does it become a little bit more easeful each time you do it? One more breath. And then at the bottom of the exhale, look forward, bend your knees, and then just start to walk the feet forward to the front of the mat, nice and slowly. Come into a fold. Grab for opposite elbow. Hang here. Sway side to side. Good, release the hands. Roll yourself all the way up, nice and slowly. Shrug the shoulders up. Release them down. Inhale, lift the arms up. Look up. Exhale, bring palms together through heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Just breathe. Gently starting to blink the eyes open. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold, coming all the way down. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, hands to the earth, step one foot back. And then the other, coming into a downward facing dog, lift the hips up nice and high. Last downward dog of this practice. Inhale. And then exhale, bring the knees onto the earth. Knees go wide, toes together. Hips go to heels, child's pose, extended child's, bringing the forehead to the earth. And breathe. Good, we're gently going to start to release, so walking those hands back towards the knees. Shift the knees together, heels go to one side, and then come onto your bum. We're going to extend our legs forward in front of us. You may want to scoot up on your mat just a tiny little bit. And we're going to cool down here, so arms reach forward. And then start to roll yourself onto your back. So coming nice and slow, we're dragging the heels. So we're trying to keep the heels grounded as we lower down. If this feels too intense, you can bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet onto the earth. This will lessen the intensity. But you can also challenge yourself. Keep those heels, go nice and slow as you come all the way onto your back. Nice smooth transition, arms lift up overhead, extending through the body. Good, and then exhale, bend the knees into the chest, rock yourself side to side, massaging the sacrum. Good. Take the soles of the feet onto the earth. We're going to take a block if you have one. If you don't, that's okay. If you have a block, you're lifting your hips up. Place your sacrum on the block and just allow the hands to come by your sides. Just resting here, allowing gravity to take hold on the pelvis as it rests on the block. If you don't have a block at home, coming into a bridge pose. So fingertips reaching to the heels. They may not reach all the way. That's okay. Feet about hip distant. And then lift the hips up. Shoulder blades might want to shimmy together a little bit underneath your back. You can keep the hands flat on the earth as you lift the hips higher. You can also take the hands underneath the hips if you want to press the hips higher. You can also, so many options, interlace your hands underneath your back. Extend the arms and give yourself a little bit more of a base. Just remembering if you're doing an unsupported bridge, thinking less about pressing the hips up and more about activating through the feet, so remembering that Tadasana stance, and lifting up through the thighs. So engage the thighs as you lift the body off of the earth. One more breath in an unsupported bridge pose. Inhale and exhale, lower. If you have supported, stay there. Good. And we're all going to just lift our feet up towards the sky. So feet lift up, either in a supported waterfall or unsupported. Just holding here. Maybe the eyes start to close. Good. If you have a supported waterfall pose, bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet to the earth, and you can just lift the hips and remove that block. And then we're all going to hug our knees into our chest, grip for the outsides of the feet as the knees come towards the armpits, coming into a happy baby pose. The goal here, we're trying to get our spine nice and flat, so if reaching for the feet is not in the cards today. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. You can always grab for the back of the thighs and kind of rock side to side, or even your calf muscles if that feels like a little bit more comfortable. And just rocking. If that feels good, you can also stay in center. Good, one more breath here. And then we'll really give those knees a nice big squeeze. Inhale. Good. Exhale, bring the knees over to the right hand side. Extend the left arm out, coming into a supine twist. Look over that left shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, over to the left hand side with the knees. Oops. And then that right arm will extend, looking over the right shoulder towards the right hand. You can always support anything, like your knees. If you'd like to support your knees with a block, you can place a block underneath the knees or even in between the knees. Good, coming back through center. Last squeeze of the knees into the chest. Maybe the head lifts. Inhale. And then exhale, extend your legs long on the mat. Hands come by your sides for your Shavasana. Just making sure there's nothing in your way. I'm moving my blocks away. And rest here. You can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like. To get out of Shavasana, just start to notice the breath in the body, how the breath fills the body, how the body welcomes the breath. Bring movement into the body, maybe flexing the feet or gripping the palms. You can rub fingertips to thumb. Extend the palms. Start to reach the arms overhead. The legs can come a little bit closer together as you extend through the entirety of the body. Bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet to the earth, and roll yourself over to one side, giving yourself a moment in the fetal position. So rolling over, using your bottom arm as a pillow. And then gently pressing into the earth with the top arm, lifting yourself up onto your seat, whatever seat feels most comfortable. Maybe sitting cross-legged or sitting on top of your shins. Eyes can close or come into a soft gaze. Hands can rest on the thighs, or you can stack one palm on top of the other, resting the hands in your lap. Lifting up through the spine, come into a little bit of observation, just noticing how the body feels, how the breath feels in the body. Just noticing your mental mind frame. How are your thoughts flowing? What is the tone of voice you use with yourself right now? And then any subtle sensations you feel. Starting to bring palms together at heart center, lifting up through your heart. Inhale. Exhale, release out of the mouth. Eyes can open if they're closed. Thank you for joining me today. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this slow foundational flow. I hope you're feeling nice and invigorated. And if you live in the area, or if you're visiting the area here in Stone Ridge, I'd love to see you in the studio. I'll also be adding more classes to this YouTube channel coming up soon. So hope to see you online or in person. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.